And if the law gonna make an agreement with him, they must reveal every single thing according to law. They must reveal it. Since they're not revealing it, they're committing fraud. So since they're committing fraud, I'm gonna declare in there what fraud is as well. So fraud, right? Fraud, any trick or artifice one person employed induce another to fall into error or to detain him in it, so that he may make an agreement contrary to his interests. If you're gonna fight with the child support agency about that agreement, that means it was made against your fucking interest in the first place. Ain't no way you're gonna make the agreement to your interests and then want to fight with somebody about it. That's just bullshit. It is bullshit. There's nobody, I don't know nobody in the world ever in the world fight with somebody about an agreement that they actually really do it again with their interests. Is the child support coming at you for nothing? No, come on. Fraud may consist misrepresentation or in concealment of material facts. In law, fraud, force, or vexation cause problem for you or odyssey. Real action. Fraud gives no action, however, without damage. So in other words, the fraud cannot go without damage. So once there's a fraud and a fraudulent area, they have to pay you. So that's why you have to declare money in equitable relief. You can subrogate, but subrogate don't get you nothing. It just cancel out the situation, but it don't get you nothing. You need the money back that they took. So I could teach you how to subrogate. I could talk about subrogate and let you know about subrogate. But my man Chris is better with subrogate. But I don't really try to show subrogate only because I'm going to show you an effective way how to get your money. Get your money back and sue them on top of it. Now, sovereignty. I don't see the word citizen beside of this, right? Sovereignty, the unity to exercise all human power possessed in a state. It is a combination of control. It is also the power to do everything in the state without accountability. You are a sovereign person. In order for the state to have its sovereignty, you first must have sovereignty. The state just can't make sovereignty out of thin air. In other words, the state is just an inadditive object. The state is nothing but by itself. So in order for the state to be formed, the people have to be free. You cannot have have a state. Why? Because the state and the slave are not free. Right? So guess what? Sovereignty belongs to the people first. Here you go. Abstracted sovereignty reside in the nation's body belongs to the people. People. But these powers are generally exercised by delegation. In other words, the people delegate their power to the state. You don't go ahead and try to use no goddamn bullshit on the people. Right? And for fathers, paternal power which belongs to the father or comes from him. Paternal power, paternal relation, paternal estate, paternal line, feed line, all of that come from the father. And paternal power, let's see whose authority is. His authority is lawfully exercised by parent over their children. So both parents can exercise their authority over their children, not the fucking government. So in other words, if your child been facing for a crime and is under 21 years old, you can stand up in front of that court for his representation, not the lawyer. You go in that court and you exert that right because you got the fucking paternal power. Put the kid behind your back, stand in his presence, and say, hey, what charge you got against my fucking son or my daughter? If they say, hey, I got him for illegal possession of firearm, that is bullshit. He got the right to bear arm. He does not need to register his shit. Show me the contract that my son give you, that my son give you, that he must make his gun register so it can be a legal document. And when they present that contract, you know the next thing you say, hey, I never approve him to contract. Your son have to get approval from you, the father, or the mother if the father is not around, to sign any fucking contract. So if they try to get your son for illegal possession of firearm, you assert his amendment right. He can never illegally possess a firearm. Right? You stand in front of that motherfucker and tell him you're gonna sit back and hold his seat. I'm gonna stand up for you right here. Because you got that fucking paternal power, not the government. Now, who is entitled to exercise this power? Two subject to it, extended power. Generally, the father is entitled to exert paternal power over his children. Did it say government here? No. No, it did not say government here. But for a certain reason, when the father acts improperly, when he abuses child sexually and all that stuff, instead of those child by nature of law, immunity, given his authority, he lost the power over them. Whenever he do anything bad against his child, it is a rule. Whenever the child is required, the court will deliver the custody to others than the father. Numerous the instances they may found where for the good of the child it go to the mother. So in other words, once the father loses the paternal power, the mother has it. So you can stand up in front of the court and defend the kid. Not no lawyer, but you got to know the laws here. Now, the principal thing is this. After I give them all of those things, you give yourself a conclusion. You tell them where everything started from, and where everything derived from, and where things are going process. They need things like this to process a case, right? Once your document is formulated like this, it'll be good to go. Anybody violated. And if you notice at each level, I always have somewhere where a notary will sign it and seal that document to make it become a legal document. Many people showing you guys practices. The practices are good. There are ways to use. But if you want to be more effective and have more power, it is the law that they cannot deny, because it is what they're using to make judgment over people. They cannot say it's not real. They cannot say it's not this, and they cannot say it's not this. You're not learning the law. You're learning the rights. You're learning the rights, and you're learning to assert them. Once the judge finished making his order, you're given this paper to make him write down in notes on this. Once he dismissed this case, this is what to hand to him, and let him write that order down right here. Once he finished writing that order down, you let him sign it and seal it. Okay? Once you sign it and seal it, you make copies of that and issue it to every fucking state if possible, or every government agency if possible, or the Secretary of State if possible. Let them know your rights is intact, especially for traffic laws. You go ahead and violate anything, you let the judge write down his order in there, and then they take that to the fucking Secretary of State and say, hey, I need to be freely passed upon the highway, and you need to give me some form of documentation that will secure that right. And he would give you a fucking passport, you pay the fee for the passport, and you move on. In every single documentation, do not forget your certificate of service. And this is what is at the bottom of it right here, where you get somebody to go ahead and issue the services for you in your name. All right. I think I give you guys a lot of sauce. Anyone want to come up? Anyone want to come up? If you got 1,000 followers, you want to come up and ask a question? I gotta go for my baby in a couple minutes. You want me to send him? You want to send this document? This is somebody else's document. He haven't used it yet. I haven't given it to him for him to use it yet. So, some of them gave me money to help them prepare the document. So this guy paid for that document. I think I don't want to tell his business, but he did pay for that document. So I'm gonna make him. He actually never paid for it. He just donated some money, and I just consider that he really wanted to help, and I just go ahead and make the document for him and consider it as a payment. So I put my effort in working on the document. documentation, but I do give copies of all the documentation within inside my Discord, where you can actually see almost similar things that got laws and rules and regulations that the people must follow. Oh, you want to submit something ASAP, so you need a judicial notice first and a declaration of your right. So what I do, I put a judicial notice in my Discord right now. I'm trying to find my shoes. It's not in here. Hold on a second. You have to send a judicial notice in. Oh, there it is. I found it. You have to send a judicial notice in to the court ASAP. And once you send a judicial notice in with a declaration of your rights, right? And if they try to deprive you of your right, then they file a lawsuit. I'm about to drive away to go get my daughter. So I cannot stay any longer. I'm too long on TikTok. So, but I try to give you guys a judicial notice. A judicial notice is to ask some questions, and they must answer within a judicial notice. If they do not give you an answer, you can submit a court case against them for it. And that's how you start that process. Give them a judicial notice. You need a judicial notice. A judicial notice would be good. Okay, I'm going to try to talk to you guys. If you guys are in my Telegram, I'll just go ahead and try to see if I can talk to you guys in there as well. Anything that you guys send me in any messages, I'm always trying to respond. But if it's too much messages, I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to respond immediately. Alright? It's too much messages from different people. It's impossible for one man to answer so many things in the time frame that you guys may want it. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm trying to come and give you guys assistance without pay. That way you guys can assist people around you as well without pay, because this shit must cut out. It must stop. It's ridiculous. It must stop. It's bullshit. It must stop. They need to stop effectively today. It does not need to go any further. This is a bullshit ass process. And you just go. Just think about it. You just go to the goddamn the court case, right? And when you go to the court case, these motherfuckers just talk over you. And once they talk over you, they tell you to go off and just walk off and go away. Who the fuck does that? You're like, okay, all right. And they walk off acting like said, oh yeah, you have no right in the world and they're your fucking boss. And man, if it was Jamaica, I'd just wait until they left that court and fucking the hell up. Yeah, I mean, being honest. I'm telling you, man. You think they can play with us like that in Jamaica? Hey, hell no. Hell no. That's why so many of them fucking die. Hey, best believe when they come in our neighborhood, we turn that heat up. Right? That's what they don't like. Many of you might probably don't like Jamaican, but we know we don't take shit like that. Nah. Especially you. Nah. No. But here's a different battle. So in Jamaica, I battle hardcore. No police officer can just come and just grab me up and put me in the jail and then don't pay for that shit afterwards. Hell the fuck no. Hell the fuck no. You best believe you won't be working in that precinct for at least months. You better work somewhere else. They move that motherfucker. Yeah. But I haven't been in Jamaica for a while, and I heard that some of the kids down there that's acting up, they don't know how to roll the game anymore. Yeah, but she don't play that game with me. So, since it's a different ball game here, I try to fight the same way like I fight in Jamaica. Guys, if the signal cut off for a little bit, just bear with me. It's just because I'm gonna take the signal off my computer, off my house. I'm gonna take the signal off my house and then I'm gonna go on data. I'm still here. I'm looking at the screen, and I'm gonna talk a little bit. I know you guys need help, and I know many of you does not have money, and this is why I come out to advocate for the people, right? Because I never had money when I. So he's the one that got in problem first. And read and study, and I learned all of this in 7 months. So it's not hard to learn if you are the type of person like me. But it's hard to learn if you're not a person like me. As I said, in Jamaica, it's very high crime. So my mind has to be clicking very, very quickly when it comes to certain situations and certain conduct. I can't let myself careless at all. Because any careless move that I make, I will get into, I can lose my life just like that. I'll get injured by bullets, stones, knife, it doesn't matter. We get anything and do damage to anyone. To defend and protect our rights, defend and protect our life, right? And because of that mindset that I have, when I try to do anything in the law and try to read for the law, once I see certain things, it will be coming up to me like this. It's because that mindset is instilled from me from Jamaica. So many of you are not. Many of you here, they induce you guys in schools, and they induce you guys in their process of doing things. And because of that mindset that they give you guys, it's more easy to manipulate you and make you believe that this is law. But ask yourself the question: what if they now start telling you that you got to pay to breed? You're already paying for water. You're already paying for food. What if they now turn around and say you got to pay for breeding? What next? Huh? Family with Fort. What is Fort? Give me a little bit more information. Because there's a lot of Fort come to mind when they say Fort. Thank you, men of God codes. Foreclosure. Okay, foreclosure. Foreclosure. It depends. What I know about those type of laws when it comes to credits and stuff like that. I know that that you are the original creditor, right? And when they try to foreclose your home, they have to do a few things. They have to do in order for them to foreclose your homes, and they will never meet that criteria. They have to be the original owner of the lot, right? And since they sell that property to you, you are the owner, and they have to go down to the court. They have to go down to the Secretary of State to file a UCC-1, and they cannot file a UCC-1 when they don't have the ownership of the building. Now, if they prove ownership and try to foreclose it, you can go ahead and file a suit against them within the courts for them to prove that they gave you money. Gave you money, gave you the credit that they say they gave you, and the majority of the time on the documentation it does not show the credit. Some of these companies that are trying to foreclose you, let me explain this to you so you can understand. The original company that you actually purchased the property from normally sell the property to somebody else. That's a violation of a right and a brief of information. They put in the documentation saying that they are power of attorney, and the power of attorney to action, what they're doing, they're not a lawyer, so that's a fucking lie from the get-go. That's a fraudulent document and a misrepresentation of the asset. Since they misrepresent the asset, you can hold them for fraud or sue them for twice the amount of the building. Those are the only thing I know about those type of process. right? I don't know much about this process. I know that they cannot foreclose your place without being the true owner of it. So what I normally do to get out of things like that is do not register it. Because when you register your property and put your property on the record, you're just basically saying that the lien that they give you is true. You accept the lien. So my wife's car that I'm currently driving around, I do not register it, therefore I do not have a license plate on it. I do not have no state license plate on it, and I do not agree to those terms that they make. They put a lien on the documentation, and I did not confirm it. I did not perfected that lien to make that lien good, so they cannot ask me for no money. They cannot make no assessment of payment, and I haven't paid $1 on this vehicle. Not one penny on this vehicle. I had the vehicle for 9 months. Because you see, when you learn the credit thing, you just know how to act. So when you don't register the vehicle, the state don't have no power over you. So they try to force you to register it. Constantly say, oh, it expires such and such time. They say, hey man, I need a title in order for me to register it, right? And if I don't have that title, I can't register it, right? Okay, then cool, yeah. Because if you take me to court about this matter right now, I guarantee you the judge will throw it out because there's no title to be able to establish anything, right? And first of all, you have to find jurisdiction in order for you to take me to court about any matter. So you don't have jurisdiction over this property because it's never ever contracted with the state. So fuck the hell off. Don't tell me what to do with my property. And that's how I go about that. She only signed a few part of it. So what I did was, after she signed a few part of it, I requested documentations after that.